I gotta be giga autistic because I did this 2 times now. I start without even like opening my mic. Okay, now it's open. Hopefully my voice is not annoying. So today we're ranking the scenarios based on how like OP they are or how fun. Not how fun, no. It's based on their value. Okay, so I ranked it by provisions. So we were gonna start low all the way to like the higher provision cost scenarios. And for starters, we got Ragnarok. Now, listen. Personally, this goes in meme, bro. I did. I also said like add it on your personal experience. So I'm not judging anybody, and hopefully nobody judges me too. Judges me too. Ragnarok as a card, it is not that bad. Like let's look at it. Spawn Cataclysm. Cataclysm is not good. I know it's a lot of damage. It's already playing for 12 for 12, which is like basically the value. But that 12 is really situational. I know damage provisions is good, but it is heavily situational. Most of the time, you're barely getting 6 value out of that cataclysm. Because if you place it before your opponent is going to play around it with a single row. And if you place it after your opponent, it is not going to matter because your opponent already has like either a point slammy card or an engine card on both rows, which basically nullifies the cataclysm damage. Chapter 1, damage an enemy by 5. Most of the time, this is like, I see the point with it. You get like double removal most of the time with it. But after you get double removal, it's probably just not enough. Either the card is too high in power, so like your double removal is not gonna matter, or you're just gonna waste that 5 on another thing. Because most of the time, if the opponent is smart enough, he can play around the 5 damage once he knows that you have the scenario. And I'm sorry for like if this insulted anybody, but if you don't play around that 5 damage, like what are you cooking? Unless you have like literally no card that plays around that damage, then that becomes a different story on its own. The second chapter, Clear Skies. Clear Skies is not it. If you're playing this with Swan, it is justifiable, but in any other deck variation this is used in, it's most of the time it's double scenario. It's like almost all the time it is just double scenario with this Ragnarok. Or like Ragnarok multiple artifacts too with it, like locations. Which is not bad. But it's definitely a meme scenario. It's like good value for the cost, but it is definitely meme value. Heavily situational value. Like this value requires the stars to align for you. You know what I mean? Like he's gotta put a 5 power engine the moment you are on the first chapter. And he gotta have like 2 cards on different rows for you to open it. Really situational value. And it's mostly used in meme decks. Like unless you're like a pirates for some why would pirates even play this? Pirates most of the time go Croc or whatever. So yeah, this is my ranking for Ragnarok. Now, this one, oh, I forgot its name. Passiflora. Oh, no. Okay, let me go back to it in a sec. Okay, I'm back. No, not Masquerade Ball. Passiflora, not at the Passiflora. This is definitely an engine-based card. It does not matter when you play it, as long as you get the most value out of it. Its value is like it's just at 6 coins. These cards as like engines, they're not bad, but they like don't require a lot to get going. You know what I mean? To start getting them going. This card is just double engine value. 6 coins, I mean, it could get a shield on that girl, or it also could play into more engines with that dude that like spawned the Sly Seductress. I forgot his I'm sorry, my knowledge is very limited on this game. Not limited like I don't know what happens in the game, limited on the names. I don't know names. It's basically an engine scenario. It does not matter about the scenario. The scenario is not it. It's about the engines that it spawns, which could be said for most of these engines, but definitely not that not that crazy like to deal with. It's just double engine. That like one per turn engine and one wherein you play a card engine, which is very manageable. But it's an engine the scenario, so that's why I put it in that tier. Because if you don't answer those, you're practically cooked. Especially with the 6 coins that comes after, they could go either Madam Sir Marquise, or they could just keep enginizing, like duplicating the cards with like not, I think Igor the Hook or the other one. I forgot. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm gonna change this name just because that name sounds rude. Okay, variation. Nice. So up next we have the thing that I changed the name for. In Getting Its Shadow. Now that scenario very like not flexible. This scenario is not flexible at all. You either playing crows or a crow clan preacher, or you're not playing this scenario. So definitely self-explanatory. It spawns a really good engine, and sometimes you can double trigger this with odd kill, but most of the time you don't even gotta double trigger this, because when you spawn one, the turn after you play any druid and you like get the value. Because the crow's eye is gonna play for 6 all the time. All the time. Unless they like have a trap that removes the druid that you play after. Which at that point you're already controlling the druid. So they have to remove 2 druids in the same turn, which is crazy. Not happening. 6 value crow's eye. Second part, Modron, not the best. Like for provisions, not the best. Clearly, it is like synergizing because it's an alchemy. But for provisions value, it's not it. Most of the time you use that just to save like to keep your other engine that you just dropped from removal, the other Crow Clan preacher. But at that point, you either out-pointed them, like out-engined them, or by them I mean the opponents, or they already removed the other Crow Clan preacher, which is not the best to do. So this scenario is very like not flexible at all. It's a single deck, and if you don't use it in that, you're cooked. Which yeah, says a lot about it already. Up next we have Feign Death. Feign Death is definitely in the manageable tier. Now hear me out. You don't even gotta hear me out. Spawn an engine. This engine, most of the time, is too slow to like be of any value until you like play that turn start and the opponent is dumb enough to like play into the round all the way to the last card without stopping this engine, which at that point is gonna play for like 10 for 4, something crazy like that. But the engine, most of the time, you do not get any value of because they either have a bronze lock or whatever card to deal with. That is the only engine that you get out of this specific scenario. Elven Deadeyes, Spawn 2, the Chapter 1, is very serviceable. It's mainly for like getting out, thinning out Erlorin. Hopefully I spelled her name right. Oh my god, we're already at 10 minutes. Okay, I gotta like mostly for dealing, for taking out Ailerin from the deck, which is a thinning. And Waylay, 3 damage is not bad. If you have Angus, hopefully it's Angus, the dude that boosts the Elven Deadeyes. If you played him before this, would extend the value of the scenario, but not like extended like in a crazy amount. It's just extra 3 points, which is not bad, but as a scenario, it is very manageable into like the opponent is not gonna have a very hard time to deal with it. You know what I mean? Up next we have Masquerade Ball. Masquerade Ball, hear me out. It's also on the manageable tier. Cause I know it's the thirsty dam is gonna be crazy to deal with if your opponent already has a statues inflicting card on the board. Nonetheless, most of the time, the enemy already has played one or two thirsty dames, which leaves this one either like like played in the round before this one, unless they open with it in first round. Which means this thirsty dam is like either the last or the second to last engine they have, other than the poisons and the bleeds, and you get what I mean. Thirsty Dam, and as an engine, it goes very tall, which is like plays very much into their tall punish, because they don't have any other cards that go tall other than this and the lieutenant dude. They do the poison locks and they give spying. Yeah, that deck does not go tall other than the Thirsty Dames, which is like plays into the opponent's single tall removal. I don't recall any other tall cards. They don't go that tall anyway. But it's just a manageable scenario, mainly because the double poison, most of the time, is going to be like a trade-off. You get double poisoned, but you could deal with their tall Thirsty Dame. Like this scenario is playing for relative like value. You get a removal out of your opponent, and they get their biggest card removed. So you remove their biggest card, and they're gonna remove the Thirsty Dam that you have already. I'm sorry, but it is like a playing for like similar value. You know, you're gonna get something, they're gonna get something out of it. But it's very manageable. It's on a manageable side. I know like when they triple stack statues appliers and it goes crazy, but trust me, if you get rid of the Thirsty Dam, these statues appliers, like, they just keep poisoning your cards. And if you already control the board so you could remove the statues appliers, though the Thirsty Dams play for nothing. Up next, we have a very mandatory heat wave / limitless. I don't know why I typed that. This definitely requires a heat wave, unless you want to surrender the round, which most players do because most of the opponents use this as an opener. Now, Thrive units are very synergistic with any monster section. They work really well off of each other. So, because the monsters really have a lot of tall cards, tall bronzes, should I say, so they get crazy value. I'm sorry, like the wind is blowing so far, so strong that my door is like going crazy. I'm sorry for losing my train of thought. Now, Spawn a Cursed Damsel, that already drops an engine on board with removal potential. Like, that already is a crazy thing. Because the Cursed Damsel already can remove a 3, which is like Artorias Vigo type of value, you know. I'm sorry, but it's a crazy opener. Like, that opener alone places it at one of the top scenarios in the game. The chapter 1, whenever you play a unit, if it would not trigger any of your Thrive units, boosted by 2. Now this is crazy. Because if you play not the golden, the normal Neckers, it's going to boost that one by 2, and then the other one gets boosted anyway. But it mainly goes well with Endrega Larva, I think it's the name. That card goes crazy. Because a 4 for 3, a 4 and a 3 with 1 point of armor on each one is very hard to remove simultaneously without letting them get even crazier or bigger. You know what I mean? that is already enough value to like make the opponent surrender the round on its own. The chapter 2 thins for the opponent. So if you play into the scenario, you basically played into a thing for the opponent, which basically means you just goofed yourself. I'm sorry. Most of the time they open with it, so they get the thinning before the 6 card mark, so you can't pass, which is very smart on like the scenario's behalf and the player that plays it. Greatly synergistic, gets you out of the round, victorious, gets the opponent out of the round at a disadvantage, and gets you a single card 10, which is crazy. That keep in mind that single card 10 is also gonna trigger your thrive units, which is something crazy. So it's very limitless because it's gonna keep enginizing the thrives. If the opponent has it in round 3 and it's a long round, just put the fries in the bag. Now what else? Okay, this gotta be in meme. I'm sorry. I know it's not the worst of scenarios, but tell me, when do you see this scenario other than in V decks? Vi or V, whatever her name is. When do you see this scenario? Like either you're not at pro rank or you do not see that. Pro rank or rank 0? I forgot the name. Progress whenever you play a unit with a Death Wish, aka V. Spawn a Desert Banshee. Desert Banshee is a Death Wish engine, which it boosts itself by 1 whenever you play a Death Wish unit. So it's not that bad, but mainly the play of this is like, look at chapter 2, bro. Chapter 2 is so sad. Spawn and play a Night Wraith. Like, tell me if anybody ever played this scenario for the Night Wraith. Nobody does, because it's mainly for V. You play the scenario, you spawn a Desert Banshee, you play V, you consume V with Barghest or the Desert Banshee to ensure a dominance with the Barghest. And then you play V again and you consume it with the Barghest, and then you play V again and you consume it with another card. So aka meme, because that deck as a whole is meme. If the opponent does not deal with the V, you could get the biggest V of your career. But if your opponent out engines your V, you could lose instantly. That rhymed. I don't know. It's basically meme. I'm sorry. I gotta break it to you. You know what I mean? Somebody has to. And up next we have, what is that? In Search of Forgotten Treasures. Now this is a single deck variation engine, period. Like, it is made for a singular deck, aka the deck that requires you to like put the card with the Horde 9, the girl that allows your card to gain 1 coin at the end of the round. And it's either that or the triple artifact syndicate, which is never gonna be good, because most of the time your opponent bleeds them and you're gonna get like cooked for the last round because you have nothing. That's it. It's that deck. I'm not even gonna consider it. I'm just gonna consider the deck with the hordes. The girl that like boosts your cards by the coins. I forgot her name, man. Like, gives coins to your cards. So basically every single card you drop, and if she infuses them, they give you a coin at the end. Which double infuse is gonna go crazy because it's gonna be 2 coins, and that card that boosts whenever you get a coin is gonna get even crazier. Nonetheless, it's only played in that, and most of the time, Gudrun does nothing unless you like wanna infuse something that you wanna remove, which at that point you gotta like remove it with Morels or a banish if you have that in deck. And gain enough coins is really good, but it only plays into that card that like Horde and boost by 1. Which is like good because it gives you a single point of like engine value on the next round, but it doesn't matter at that point because you already set up. Or the opponent already controlled all of your cards, which means you do nothing. Damage the highest power enemy unit. It's a very situational scenario, because I'm sorry, but this scenario is only used in that deck, and that's it. I don't have a lot of knowledge on Syndicate, but I gotta say that. I've never seen it in any other deck besides the triple artifact, but that at that point you could slide it in the meme category. Because what's the point? Now, we have this dude. This dude, Voyage or whatever, Endless Voyage. This is like really. I wanted to make a tier just for this card because it's really hand dependent. It depends on the opponent's hand. If the opponent has like the hand, I'm basically talking as the opponent has the Endless Voyage, not you, not us, not we. What the fuck am I saying? If the opponent has Endless Voyage and they have like terrible hand, you could manage somehow to get through this. But if the opponent has like the Gucci hand, the perfect, and he drops this, this is just a loss, which could be said about all of the scenarios, but it really hits home with this specific scenario. Because in this, you gotta play a pirate. It is not a ship card. Like if you play a ship, it does not progress. It has to be pirates. Which at that point, it really limits the opponents if they have like, let's say Hjalmar and Krach and like Justiana. These I know these are pirates, but these are really valuable pirates. You do not want to play them unless they already built enough armor value. Or in round 3, which is like crazy to say. Like imagine playing Hjalmar just to progress this into second round, which you know you're not gonna win because the opponent already has set up most of the things that he needs to move on from this round. Bjorn's Drakkar is a really good card. Thank God the spawn ship, when it moves to the graveyard, thank God it is at like 14 provisions. Because if it was not, I think I remember when it was not, which meant it could be revived by Fukushia because it was playing for basically no provision because all the provision cost was in that. I don't even know if that's a placebo effect, but I vividly remember that. Remember that the card at one point did not have any provisions to its name, which means it could have been brought back by Fukushia, which is crazy. I know it's like sacrificing provisions with playing Fukushia with it, but it is crazy because you can play a lot of good cards off of Fukushia pirates. Whenever your opponent plays a unit, infuse it with Death Wish, spawn. That is really good. Like that is underrated good, but it is also very manageable by the opponent. They could either have a veil card or they could have a boost card that like boosts it out of the damage. I know you can infuse it with Bjorns, but at that point you're wasting an infuse on a card that is basically just giving you a Death Wish. 3 damage for turn, which is manageable at best. Purify, that is the crazy part. The purify and heal. It is like, and if you don't have it, it just spawns it. Because it just if the opponent like said, fuck you, I'm just gonna remove your boat, Bjorns, that you could like just say, nah, fuck you, it's gonna spawn back. Which is like good, but actually just manageable. Because when you remove it, it loses that 1 charge. It is at 1 charge now, which is very good for the opponent. So that's it. It's manageable. I know like the infuse is like really good, but you have to like sink cards into that infuse to actually make it work. The opponent has to like work for it. It's not gonna kill it on the spot. Also, okay, so we're basically at the most broken scenario in the game. I personally consider this scenario to be the most broken one in the game by far. And I'm sorry for anyone that disagrees. This is my personal list. How is it only at 4 provisions? It should be at 15 at least. 16 even is not bad for it. And I'm sorry, like it's a nerf for Harmony. Harmony is not the most toxic deck, but this when the opponents drop this in a round where it is the deciding round and you have no answer to it, just put the fries in the bag, literally, respectfully, and no harm meant to anybody. Just put the fries in the bag. This card as a whole is a crazy card because Lake Guardian most of the time plays for 10, which already is a 10 for 14. Let's keep that in mind. 10 for 14. Chapter 1. Whenever you play a non-neutral, boosted by 1 for each category it has. Let's say you play the Dwarven Chariot. How many categories it has? Machine, Siege Engine. These are 2. Let's say you played Cat Witcher. He already drops at 4. He's now a 5, which is even harder to remove. Let's say you dropped... What is it? I forgot the names. Let's say you dropped an elf. An elf that is a soldier. An elf that is a soldier that is a bandit. I don't even know if that's in the game. But that is 3 categories. So we move on. Let's just move on from the chapter 1, which is already crazy enough as is. Chapter 2, spawn and play Lock Fiend. Lock Fiend, if you have like a single Harmony engine, is gonna put it already as a card. It already gives you an engine because most of the time you're not controlling a Witcher, you're not controlling a machine, you're not controlling a dwarf, you're not controlling an elf. Most of the time you're either controlling a relic or a beast, which like really is workable around. It's gonna give you an engine because most of these cards are engines. Besides the elves. Elves are mostly deploy, but they also have some crazy engines. I don't even know what to say about this. Just wrap it up. If the opponent uses this with Quarksees or whatever his name is, just like delete the game. Thank you. Get out the game, bro. It's not your day. You're not having fun today. Which if you bleed it in the second round or like first round, which I don't know why they would put that in first round. They dumb. If you bleed that in second round, you're golden. You're Gucci. Trust me, Quarksees as a card is much more manageable than the scenario. Because Quarksees drops and they drop the leader ability. They get 2 my bad. They get 1 convergence from it, which is not bad to deal with because at that point you're just gonna kill Quarksees and move on. I know it played for a lot of value, but it played for a lot of commitment too. It played for leader commitment, which unless that is in round 3, is gonna be good value bleed for you. I'm sorry. Most of the time they're played in different rounds unless you somehow let the opponent set up perfectly for the round, which at that point, what are you doing? Let's just move on. I'm sorry. Now, where do I place this? I'm gonna place this as answer engines or lose. Siege, like definitely engine-based scenario. The engine-based scenario. Like I know as much as this is engine-based, and this too, this one is known for being the engine-based scenario because you never look at the scenario. You banish it, you basically just lost a banish. You remove the engines, that is the good step to take. If you banish it, you just wasted a banish. Because it is like chapter 2, done. Nothing after chapter 2. They have engines, you have engines, or you're dead. I mean, you remove them or you like counter engine, but you lose at that point because they're gonna have more than you. Spawn a reinforced Trebuchet. Trebuchet is such a dumb card because it requires crew to do. Because if you know, like, if the opponent is playing Zeal, Shield Wall, or I forgot his name, but the one where the resupply. If the opponent is playing, not resupply, I forgot his name. If the opponent is playing any of this, you know they have this scenario. So you know you just play your cards on melee and you just wait for them to play it and get no value out of it. Battering Ram is very like goofy because it's either crew and you get like 3 damage crazy, I know, on the card you want, or just do 3 damage to the highest powered, which is very manageable by the opponent. Bombardment is crazy, bro. If they have like at least if you control at least like four siege engines, you basically play bombardment for eight value damage and resupply for your engines. If they have resupply, okay, we're already at 30 minutes. Let's just speed it up. We only got like a couple more. So basically, it's an engine scenario, definitely, which is thematic, very thematic. I love that it is thematic as fuck. Thank God it is not some random bullshit where like, hey, whenever the opponent plays a card, you damage it by 5. Okay, that's crazy. I goofed up. And another mandatory heat wave. This is the scenario to bleed in round 2. Most of the time, if you do not control round 1, you practically lost. Because if the opponent controls the second round, if the opponent wins first round, they're just gonna hard pass to round 3 and just move on with your life. Because if they drop this, you just cooked. Unless you have a banish. Which at that point, if you're saving banish for this scenario, keep in mind, after they're gonna play the dude that girls the girl out when he gets Grace. I'm sorry with the names. I repeat, I'm sorry with the names. They're gonna play the dude that damages you when he boosts himself, and they're gonna play a card that is goofy enough to like whoop your ass. At that point, you're just busy doing nothing because they already have like 17 bajillion points on board. Okay, I gotta take a breather. I'm sorry. I know we're prolonging this. Progress whenever you play a knight. Already not the hardest to do when you're playing knights specifics in that faction. Not the hardest thing to do because your whole deck is just gonna be knights. I know this is like a single deck, but I've seen this played in Shield Wall and Zeal, and it was not bad. It was like competing. Because like most of the cards with Grace, you can get them to Grace with minimal setup. Like you could get that artifact where you like boost by 4 and give 4 vitality, and that is already a great setup for you. And most of the other cards give the other ones great setup, which is not that hard to do. So it's okay if you're not playing the knight leader charge or whatever. Which means I've seen it like flex in a lot of leaders. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm sorry. Whenever an allied unit triggers race, boost its adjacent. Okay, this is crazy, bro. This is crazy because the moment you drop this, you're gonna summon that dude that boosts the unit when boost a knight. Boost a unit by 1, and if it's a knight, give it a 1 boost per turn. You're gonna summon that dude. You're gonna click that dude's order ability. You're gonna play the Bronwyn guy. I forgot his name. Maiden Shield. You're gonna play Maiden Shield. Maiden Shield is gonna trigger this chapter. He's gonna get Grace. He's gonna boost Bronwyn. You're gonna be cooked. You're gonna put the. You're gonna wrap it up. You're gonna go home. You're gonna play another game. Okay. Chapter 2 is basically there for content at that point. I'm sorry. Mad Charge is like one of the worst specials in the game, aside from this faction, because it's buns. Finally, last but not least, you know where it is. Wait, last and definitely least. Fuck that. You know where it goes. It is not. I don't even want to explain it. It's meme tier. You could say it's mandatory heat wave, but that deck puts so much provision into this card and the cultist cards that at that point it's basically wraps for your opponent. If you don't banish this, you lose. I know, which is like basically the top rank, but it is also a very meme card. Because why are you playing this deck? If the opponent has like high control-y deck, they're just gonna remove your cultists before you even like synergize with the other ones. And if your opponent does not answer it, they lose. Meme. I know meme is like goofy ass rank, but it is very flexible. That is why I meme. It got V, it got Cultist, it got Ragnaru. That's it. Thank you for watching. We're gonna hit the 35-minute mark. I'm not even gonna edit this shit. Goodbye.